The special levy discount we're talking this morning in the strata space, some buyers see huge problems, some buyers see opportunity. We're going to unpack it. What's normal in the world of strata?
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Good morning,
Good
Billy.
morning.
How are you?
This is a super relevant topic. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Isn't it just?
Super relevant. 1 in 7 Australian families live in strata. So if it's not you, it's often your kids or mum and dad. You just, it's someone that you know.
Yes. And how many? Look, we look at reports, strata report. We're not strata managers, but as real estate agents, we obviously need to know what's going on with strata. It's one of the first questions I ask a vendor when I'm signing up their property. I'll ask them, do you know of anything that's going on within your strata? Do you know of any special levies coming up?
Yeah.
Because it's very likely that if there are special levies, it's going to have some sort of an impact on price. Um, the word special levy really gets treated like a dirty word in real estate, doesn't it? But I think
Yeah, big
it
time.
has the opportunity of creating outstanding opportunities for anyone, for the savvy buyer. You know, the word special levy, if we're speaking with a buyer and we're like, yep, there's a special levy coming up of $20,000, you can almost see them scurry out the door.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, it's expensive to buy property as a start, and people are stretching themselves, and then don't maybe have the extra savings to, go and support an extra levy. Depends on the way they finance it, but if it is all at one cost, it's like another expense that you might not have.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, here's the thing, guys. It's definitely not always a dirty word. Sometimes a special levy can be a really good indication that the strata slash body corporate are very, very proactive.
Mm,
It often can mean that they're addressing an issue that needed to be addressed. And I think the bigger question is,
yeah,
what is the issue? Because sometimes people hear the word, that there's waterproofing issues, or the balconies need upgrading, or the roof needs replacing. And I think the bigger question that you need to ask yourself is, once that special levy has been finalised and the works are complete, does that then add more value to your property?
yeah, absolutely. And often it is. So there's a big difference when you're reading a strata report between progressive work. Progressive is adding value and improvements or maintenance, and then reactive work where they've reached a point where they're just not being on the ball, and now it's time to fix those things. So look at the progressive and the reactive work, and if it is progressive, like new windows or new balconies or anything like that, a new roof that's going to add value. I mean, you've got to do that whether you live in a house or an apartment. It's just it covers more heads in an apartment.
Exactly. Yep, that's so super well put. But interestingly, sometimes zero special levies and low strata rates can be dangerous, because that can often
Yep.
be a red flag that a building is not properly maintained. So, how much money is there sitting in their capital works? What are the proposed works that need to be done? And are those works that need to be done going to add value to your property? So,
Yeah.
I want to tell you guys a story. Our daughter purchased a property about a year and a half ago, and we had said to her, go and have a look and find the properties. These are the real estate parents. We said, go and have a look and find the properties that have got the special levies. Now, why do
Yep.
you reckon we might have said that?
But it does create huge opportunity. There's voids in the market where buyers, are scared and walk away from, properties, despite it being a good option for them. They just don't want sometimes the problem with the special levy. So it does create really good buying opportunity.
It creates awesome buying opportunity. It gives you great negotiation powers as well, because vendors
Yeah,
know it's not like they were unaware that there might have been a
yeah,
20, 30, $60,000 special levy. And often, like I'm saying to my vendors, and listen, I've got a few at the moment that I'm selling that have got these special levies. And I'm saying to my vendors, you do understand that's going to have an impact on your final result. They get
mm,
it. They understand. Or some vendors are willing to pay the special levy at settlement. So it'll be completely wiped off. Completely wiped off. Sometimes I think, Billy, it can be more dangerous when there's actually no mention at all of something. And then next minute, a year later, there you are living in your beautiful apartment. And a year later, all of a sudden, you realize the whole roof has got to be replaced, unbeknownst to you. Just
yeah.
because there
I
was
suppose,
nothing there flagged in that strata report doesn't mean that there's no upcoming works that no one even knows about.
yeah, sometimes I think you'd rather deal with the problems, than have unaware, issues come on down the line. And so a good 10-year plan, a good proposed work schedule can be that insight you need. And there's two different ways you can raise money. Special levies is the alternate option to higher quarterly levies. So it's like pick your poison. I sometimes think having one lump sum purposed for work can be better than higher quarterly levies.
Yep. And here's what I see, Billy. Like I see a very sophisticated buyer is not at all phased about a special levy. So I've got one at the moment. I'm selling a property at the moment, and there's a special levy on it of about $13,000. The price has been adjusted accordingly. In fact, if there was no special levy on this property, and again, just remember, guys, the special levy on this particular property is $13,000. There has been a reduction in the sale price of approximately $100,000.
Yeah.
$100,000. And I had a tradie come through there yesterday and he's like, yep, that's great. That actually is quite a simple fix. He's got his head right around the special levy. He's like, that's quite a simple fix. He sees opportunity, is what he sees. He sees that once he moves in and the special levy has been paid and there are no other proposed special levies, he sees that he's going to make $100,000 in his sleep. That's what he sees.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and that's probably where I think, if you're a seller, the thing you can best do to prepare is get the information readily available, really easy to understand. I mean, proper layman's terms, because often these levies and work is talked about in a very engineering way. And so people just don't quite understand. But if you can really break it down for people as a seller, that's the way you're going to protect your price. And then you may
Yep,
choose to pay it out, and so that conversation is sort of off the table and buyers don't need to worry about it.
I
You may
agree.
look to pass it
And
on.
so here's where I see it as a real estate agent all go wrong. So, a prospective buyer has got the strata report that's readily available these days. Often there's a small sum of money that you pay to download the full report, which is extremely extensive. We go through that with the buyer and go, yep, this is what's outstanding. As an example, $13,000. They're doing some, I don't know, pipe realigning work within the building. That's likely to be finished in the next 12 months. We can't see here that there's any other special levies. And as a result of that, the vendor understands and they're willing to take a hit of about $100,000. Then it goes over to the solicitor or the conveyancer
Yeah.
and they do their job, but it's almost like watching a car crash happen in slow motion, because then the solicitor or conveyancer, again, is doing their job and they're outlining all the risk that is there to the buyer. That
Yeah.
is their job, guys, but read between the lines. So I just listed something, Billy, we were just talking about it on air. I just listed something yesterday. There is a $60,000 special levy for balcony upgrade works within the building. The vendor said, and this is an awesome property, the vendor said, I have paid for that.
Yeah.
So the current vendor has paid the special levy. And guess what the new owner gets?
Yeah, I know. They enjoy the benefits of beautiful new balconies and no problem.
That's it. And so, what is the value that that adds then to the property? A brand new balcony right near the beach. I'm going to say, Billy, I want to ask you, what do you reckon? What's the value that that then adds to that property?
Well, I find it's at cost, it's 60,000 and then probably double it. I reckon there's over 100 grand in that. So, it's easily whatever's cost. They're not making profit on this. They're not charging everyone 60 grand and it only costs them 30 so they can put another 30 away for a rainy day. It doesn't work like that. These things are at
I
cost.
agree. So, guys, you've got to weigh it up. You've got to look at it as opportunity. Okay. Look at it as opportunity. Understand the real estate agent is there obviously to sell the property.
Yep.
The strata report is there and that outlines the facts as to exactly what is going on. And your solicitor or conveyancer is there to make sure that they are reading you the right act about what's going on within that strata report.
Yep.
But somewhere in there lies opportunity. And as I said, if we told our own daughter to go out, go find the property that's got the special levy on it because you can negotiate well on that property. That's what we see as real estate agents. We see immense opportunity. I remember, Billy, I sold last year this 2-bedroom apartment in Freshwater. It was right down near the beach, 70 metres squared. And I sold this property, ridiculous. I think it still holds the record for a 2-bedroom apartment in Freshie, $3.25 million. Young guy.
Yep.
And it had a special levy on it of $90,000. They were doing driveway upgrade works.
Yep.
He
Yeah.
paid that as well.
There's
He just saw opportunity.
Yeah, and look, it can vary, all different shapes and sizes. But I think if you're a buyer out there, don't walk away from the perfect place just because there's a slightly awkward strata report. Understand it, get through it, and yeah, and then I guess take the advice on knowing that a conveyancer is doing their job with the recommendation of trying to avoid risk, and then it comes down to you whether you want to accept that or not.
And by the way, guys, we look at strata reports all day, every day. We do sell a lot of strata properties. I'm yet to see a perfect report.
Oh yeah,
I'm
can we
yet
talk
to
about how
see a
normal it
perfect
is
report.
to see
It's
something? Nine
like,
out of 10. Honestly, 9 out of 10 has got something
isn't
going
it?
on. Mm,
Definitely got something going on. I mean, things change, right? So, in an area where we operate on the northern beaches, we have a culmination of brand new builds, which are not don't have the double brick internal walls. Too expensive to build like that. Then we've got the really old apartment blocks that were built in the 60s and 70s, and
mm.
they now require fire upgrades, mandatory fire upgrades, and balcony upgrades. A lot of them
Yep,
need, upgraded windows and all sorts of things. So hence why we're seeing those special levies coming through. And then you've got the buildings that were built about 20 to 25 years ago.
yep.
And I find a lot of those properties have got waterproofing issues.
But it's also that average 10-year to 15-year lifespan of waterproofing. So it's like it shocks everyone that, oh my God, there's another waterproofing upgrade. But like that's what it said on the tin. That's the lifespan. So it's like it's now we're now in that decade. There's now going to be costs. So again, don't let it put you off. You're probably in the norm.
Leverage off it, guys. Leverage off
Yep.
it. Take advantage of that. And I'm often saying to, I've got one at the moment that's got a 60K special levy on it. So, come to us with an offer. The vendor often is all ears. They're well aware of what's going on. They're like, okay, well, we understand it's going to impact the final result. Bring us some offers and let's see what we can do. And listen, often vendors are very open to paying that special levy on settlement as well, if the price is right. So it may very well be like my smart vendor last night that I signed up. He's like, paid the special levy. It won't even be a discussion. I paid it, and the new buyer is going to get the benefit and the advantage of enjoying their brand new balcony. How good's
Yeah,
that?
and that's really clever. So if you're worried about, I just don't have a spare 60,000 to spend on this balcony, get the vendor to pay it on settlement, increase your offer by 60,000, so everyone's happy, and the bank will effectively finance it. So it just looks an extra 50, 60,000 on top of your purchase price. So that's the way you get around it.
There you go. Love it. Great topic. Awesome topic. But guys, seriously, if you're looking for the perfect strata report, much like the perfect human, doesn't exist. It just does not simply exist. You would, in fact, I'd be scared if I saw nothing on a report at all. I would think that that's probably a building that is not particularly managed that well. So we do get the strata reports. They are readily available for you. Often I like to do a little snapshot, just like the 10 most important points of what's going on there within the strata. They're always readily available at my open homes or at our open homes. And but you can download those reports. They're about $49 these days to download it. There you go. Don't be scared, guys. Special levies, don't be scared. See it as opportunity.
Great topic. There you go.
Awesome
Hope that
topic.
helps.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Billy.
See ya.